The AI paradox, who benefits when nobody works?
Welcome back to Perspective Shift, the show where we challenge assumptions, explore big ideas, and ask the questions that don't always have easy answers. I'm Kyle.
And I'm Savannah.
Kyle,
Today's question is simple. What happens if AI becomes so good that most people aren't needed for work anymore? At first, that sounds like a dream. No more repetitive jobs, no more dangerous jobs. Machines handling the tasks nobody wants to do. But what happens after that?
Because when you follow that idea all the way to its conclusion, you run into a surprisingly difficult problem. If nobody works, who gets paid? And if nobody gets paid, who buys the products the machines are making?
the promise of AI.
The people building AI often talk about a future of abundance. Imagine factories run mostly by robots, transportation largely automated, customer service handled by AI, even white-collar work increasingly performed by software. The promise is that productivity explodes. We can produce more with fewer people.
And historically, technology has often created new jobs after destroying old ones. The automobile replaced horse-related industries but created mechanics, manufacturers, engineers, and entire new sectors. The internet eliminated some jobs but created countless others. The question is whether AI is different.
The problem.
Here's where things get interesting. Previous technological revolutions replaced specific jobs. AI has the potential to replace human thinking in many areas. Not all thinking, but enough that millions of workers could find themselves competing against systems that never sleep, never take vacations, and cost less over time.
And that's where the economic paradox appears. Our economy depends on people earning money and spending money. Workers become consumers. Consumers drive demand. Demand drives business growth. But what happens if a significant percentage of workers are no longer needed?
The UB question.
A common answer is Universal Basic Income, or UBI. The idea is straightforward. If AI and robots create enormous wealth, society distributes some of that wealth back to citizens so people can continue living, spending, and participating in the economy.
But that raises another question. Where does the money come from? If fewer people are working and paying taxes, does the government tax the companies that own the AI? Do we tax the robots? Do we create entirely new economic systems? The answers aren't obvious.
The resource question.
And there's another layer that often gets overlooked. AI isn't free. Data centers require enormous amounts of electricity, massive infrastructure, cooling systems, construction, maintenance, engineers, electricians, raw materials.
In other words, even the most advanced AI system still depends on physical resources. It depends on energy. It depends on infrastructure. It depends on people somewhere maintaining the systems that keep everything running. The digital world still rests on a physical foundation.
The big question.
Sometimes it feels like we're racing toward a future without fully asking where the road leads. Everyone is focused on building smarter AI, faster AI, more powerful AI. But maybe the bigger question isn't whether we can build it. Maybe it's what happens after we succeed.
Because if AI eventually produces most of society's goods and services, then we're faced with a fundamental choice. Do the benefits flow to everyone, or do they flow primarily to the people who own the machines? That decision may shape the next century.
So here's today's perspective shift question. If AI eventually eliminates a large percentage of jobs, should the wealth created by AI belong primarily to those who build it? Or should society share in the benefits?
And maybe an even bigger question. If work is no longer necessary for survival, how do people find purpose?
And that's all for today's episode of Perspective Shift. I'm Kyle.
And I'm Savannah.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.